Well, let's get started. Got a lot to talk about today. On the well.
Welcome to the well. On the day we got Miss Dana Dane,
Hey,
Miss
now.
Trinity,
Hey.
David, and Danetta. How y'all feeling today?
We feel Gene. Like, that's how we feeling
Uh-oh.
today.
Yeah.
We feel Gene.
Really
We denim.
Genie.
Where's your denim?
I left it.
Oh
I
man,
left it in the 80s where most other people did.
Tried
it.
Like, I didn't sit for him.
No, he didn't. He came out shots fired. That's what he did.
On today, we're going to talk about black on black crime.
Yeah, you came out
Danetta, how
shots
do you
fired.
feel about black on black crime?
Oh boy. Black on black crime isn't as big as people make it. If you think about it, black on black crime is only brought up when Black Lives Matter is, protesting or, speaking about certain topics.
And also like how the media portrays it. Like, we never hear about the white on white crimes because you got to think it's white people reporting the incidents, what's happening. So we're not even going into their community. So they tend to target our community, African Americans,
That's so
and
true.
saying what we're doing
Right.
versus
That
what
is
are the
so
white
true.
people doing, because
Right.
they commit the same crimes.
They
That
really
is so
are.
We just not hearing about them.
Right.
I mean, when you see black on black crime, they say that it's that 87% of black people are killed by other black people, but 84% of white people are killed by other white people.
Well,
It's 3%.
Right.
The majority of murders and rapes and all these other things committed last year, 53% of them were committed by white people. So it's like when you look at these cases, we don't call those crimes. We call a school shooting a tragedy.
Right.
But a black kid gets shot in the school is black on black crime. So the message, the way it's being portrayed is a lot different.
They always spotlight the bad things we do, but the good things they take and they say they created it.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Cornrows,
Box braids.
box braids.
So if black lives truly do matter, then why do we kill each other for just so small reasons?
As a man,
No, you got it.
no, as a
I'll
black
go.
man, I think growing up, like my parents both grew up in the inner city in Philadelphia. I was born in the inner city in D.C., but they moved me out of the city because they didn't want me to kind of be around certain things. So I grew up like 20 minutes outside the city. But in that instance, even every neighborhood we grow up in, it's like we're taught as men, you got to be tough, you got to be this, you can't be no punk, emotion. And then if somebody does something to you, if you're to back down, that's considered being a little bit of soft or not that. So you're kind of taught to be tough and stick up for yourself, but then it almost gets to a point where we're not taught how to back down in certain situations and let things slide off the shoulder or roll off. And thankfully my parents were in church, so they taught me that other part, but a lot of my friends didn't. There's a reason why when I was in high school, I went to 9 funerals my senior year. You know what I mean? In high school. And that's crazy, but that's because people don't know how to back down. We always taking it to the next level.
And I think too, the reason why people have a problem with us saying Black Lives Matter, because it's just to like take it away from really what the point is, like with police brutality, killing like our African American man. So then they want to bring it back to us, like, well, you all are doing it to each other, so it should be okay for them to do it to us. But really, that's not the case. Like, it's all with racism.
It's the same thing with the N word. Well, y'all call each other that. Why can't we say it? It's like,
No, you can't say that.
why you want
to?
to say it?
Right, you
know
don't know what it's
Like,
like for me to be an African American
Yeah.
woman versus an African American male.
So what ways can we be proactive in our own community?
As far as black on black crime,
Yes, ma'am.
well, put the gun down.
Yeah, we need to have something like anti-violence.
But
Yeah.
we have that.
Yeah, but maybe we need
But
to do
hasn't
it
black on
more.
black crime dropped? I could have sworn
but we
it dropped
say this,
over
but
the
one of the
years.
issues that I have that I see, especially on social media, is like when there's a fight or something break out, we're quick to pick up the phone and shoot it, but no one is ever
Wanna
stopping
break it up.
anything. Why do you think that is?
It's sensationalized.
Yeah.
I think more so than talking, we gotta like provide like outlet. Like a lot of the people that we talk to, they don't like, we talk to them and then we go back to our lives. They got to go back to mom and dad not coming home to midnight. Sometimes mom and dad working 3 jobs. They may stop in, kids sleep, and then they wake up and go at 4 a.m. So like we got to provide more community centers, provide some jobs for these cats, especially these young brothers. Cause they just out here playing
And
ball.
sisters, 'cause
And
these
and
sisters out here swinging too.
Yeah, no, they out here doing it a little bit more too. But it's like provide an outlet. Like you can't cut off this and say don't do something and not give them something else. Like they say when you're tempted with something, like it's not just good enough to not think about the temptation, but you got to think about something else, a substitute. So like we telling these cats to stay out the street, do something. Let's give them a way to stay out the street. Let's provide some jobs. Let's get them.
So they're not turning.
Yeah,
to the streets.
put them somewhere where they can. I saw this great thing the other day where it's like this cat got out of jail and he started a gym, and it's only jail workouts, and he hires trainers that are only people that were inmates, and it's crazy. He's given an opportunity, whereas in most cases them cats won't have no job.
Right.
You know, we got to do that.
So kind of as we shift the conversation biblically in the Bible, in Mark 12:31, it says, love your neighbor as yourself. There is no commandment greater than these. Why do you think us in the church, we don't even really stand by that?
And I think in the church too, we have this thing about just trying to pray away a whole bunch of stuff. And prayer works, but we got to pray about how we're going to do some action.
You got to be a doer.
You know what I mean?
Do
Do the work. Faith without works is dead.
Yeah, I think that's the whole thing. Like, cause with the Black Lives, I'm shifting, with the Black Lives Matter movement. It's not the same as the Civil Rights movement. It was within the church, and besides the fact that some of the leaders in the Black Lives Matter are, of the LGBTQ community. The church has taken this stance of we're just gonna pray. Back in the day they were like, we'll pray, but we'll also do the march. You get what I'm saying? I feel like now, because we are stuck so much on praying but not working, it has created a huge divide between activism and the church.
Everybody preaching about Jesus. Jesus didn't hang out with all church people.
Right.
Come on.
He was in the streets.
Right.
With people.
So
and not
and
just out here
protest.
like he was just he related to people first before, like, obviously he didn't compromise who he was, but he was like, let me relate to it. We want to preach to people and show up late to work.
Right.
It's like, get to work on time so people can see your character, relate to them, and then start talking to them and relating to them. And obviously even in the communities, Black people, Black lives, it's like it's crazy. If you college educated, you might not, somebody that didn't go to college might not relate to you, so they don't want to turn up. It's just like relate to people in every facet. Don't judge.
But also,
everything.
just because you college educated,
It don't mean
you could be not have a college education and still be able to relate to
Exactly.
Exactly. That's what I'm
Exactly.
saying. That we gotta communicate that.
Yeah.
It's weird because we're talking about that. I was looking at the well thing right here, and it made me think about the actual thing in the Bible where God went to the woman at the well who was a Samaritan woman, right? And he was a Jew. And so in the Bible, Samaritans, Jews, they didn't talk, but yet still he's at the well talking to this lady. Why? Because this woman was, messing around with other men. So people didn't want to, talk to her, be seen with her. And so it made me think about when you say love thy neighbor, that's love right there, because God knew what she was going through, told her about it, but then yet and still in front of everyone, he was there to show her love. Like, I can give you this water to drink of. So when you say love thy neighbor, my God.
So Trinity, if there was a way you can wrap all this up with a scripture, what would it be?
Therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience.
Thank you for discussing that topic with us today. Join us next time on The Well. Catch us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and we'll see you next time. Looking for more West State TV original content? Like and subscribe to make sure you never miss a video.